CTV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on Quad Cities Live, it's Throwback Thursday, and today we're taking you back to some Halloween fun from the college years.
Plus, how Impact Life is putting an end to the finger stick method in pre-donation screenings. We'll show you the new technology.
And from ancient Egyptian depictions to internet memes, cats have always had a starring role in art. We'll take a look at how the Figge Art Museum is celebrating fascinating felines. And that's where we begin on this Thursday, October 30th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
I'm Kyle Keel. Cat lovers, you won't want to miss an exhibition underway right now at the Figge Art Museum.
It's called Cats,
yeah,
and it celebrates our favorite four-legged felines through centuries of art and culture. Joining us now is Vanessa Sage, co-senior curator at the Figge. Vanessa, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. I just love this. I love looking through some of the photos that the Figge provided for the segment. Vanessa, why did the Figge decide to create an entire exhibition about cats?
Well, we did an exhibition a couple years ago called Animals in the Museum, and it was a big hit with crowds of all ages, so we decided to focus in on cats because they have such a rich history in arts and culture.
Yeah, so in addition to the rich history, what else about cats makes this such an inspiring thing for art?
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different creations throughout the centuries, so what makes this so unique?
I think that their role culturally has shifted, and it's so different in different cultures, but also they're very changeable in nature, and so a lot of artists portray them in many different ways. And so there's a lot to love about cats, but they're also really mischievous. Then they're also tied to some really deeply spiritual histories and culture, like in ancient Egypt, for instance, and we have some ancient Egyptian amulets in the exhibition on loan from the Putnam.
Okay, we're talking. This is what the exhibition looks like.
Yeah.
So if you're watching us on TV right now and you see the screen, this is what you will find when you go to the Figge. So what is maybe the funniest or most unexpected way that you've seen cats portrayed in art?
Like looking through the Figge collection, there were some surprises. And so cats, they're not always the focus of the work. They're at the margins, at the borderlines, causing, sometimes causing trouble, getting at ribbons, tearing somebody's dress, for instance. And so just finding how many cats we had represented in art in the collection was a surprise.
Yeah.
And then the ways that they are portrayed, either as these very noble beings or these little troublemakers. There's a lot of variety.
Yeah, talk about the evolution in this exhibit from, ancient times to more modern art.
Yeah, you've got it all.
Yeah.
So we have also on loan, the Putnam was kind enough to loan us some works. So we have pre-Columbian works of jaguars and 2 feline dogs that are guardian figures in Chinese culture. Those are from the 1700s. And so it really starts with the wild cat component and how, cats, even though they're domesticated, they still have this half-wild nature to them.
Yeah.
And so as you enter, you get that more the foundational history, and then the wild cats kind of transforming into domestic animals.
Yeah, in my head, I was just thinking of the domesticated cats.
I was too.
Yeah, I heard your reaction.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, those are cats too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know you oftentimes have interactive pieces with exhibitions, and beyond that as well. This is more than just 2D art on paper, although that is incredibly beautiful, and we're going to show off some of those pieces here in just a minute. There's also sculptures and things like that.
So we have sculptures by like John Bloom and Isabel Bloom in the exhibition. So 2 local favorites.
Yeah.
There's also poetry on the walls, so that literary component is also married to the visual expression of cats and art. And then the interactive components, we really wanted to make sure that kids and families had a place in the space itself to kind of reflect on the art around them and make their own art. And
Yeah.
so there's prompts for them to write their own haiku poetry. Cats figure heavily in Japanese haiku
Okay.
from many hundreds of years ago to today. And there's also a drawing prompt, and then people can send in their photos of their own cats.
Oh, people love to
And
do that.
We
They
will
do.
include
Yes.
them on a monitor in the exhibition.
Oh, very cool.
That is really
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
Very
Figgy
cool.
does a really good job
They really do.
of doing that. And let's look at a couple of the
Yeah.
pieces that are part of this exhibition right now. So this is young Robert Johnson, and this is kind of what you were talking about. So once we remove the graphic there on the screen, you're going to see how the cat is depicted. There you go. That's kind of what you were saying, where they're just in the margins, or they're just kind of a player in the piece of art.
Yes, in this you can notice that the cat has a little devil tail.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't notice that at
So,
first, yeah.
This is about the musician Robert Johnson, who was so talented. The legend is that he sold his soul to the devil to have that
okay.
musical talent. And so
Sweet.
that's kind of the cat on the margin.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. So the next piece of art we have is the house cat. And this is one that really caught our eye.
Yeah, so colorful
It's
and
very colorful.
abstract.
So this is by an artist named Carol Apple, and although they're prints, they look very much like paintings when you
Yes.
see them in person.
Oh,
They're very
yeah.
bright, and they're all different kinds of cats. So there's, I think, 27 of these
Oh.
prints, and it's like smiling cat, house cat,
Yeah.
Very
sitting
cool.
cat, and so they're more of the abstract side.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And then the final one that we want to show quickly, you mentioned Smiling Cat. This is by a different artist, though. I also love this one.
Yes,
Yeah.
this royal blue cushion.
Yeah.
Tomu Inagaki was very well known for his cats. He was a woodblock print. So this is an art form that, again, goes back centuries. And he was active in the mid-century. And so this is one of my favorites, too, because I
is.
just really
Yeah.
love the style.
very
stylized
royal
way
looking,
that
too.
and yes, that sly look.
Yes.
And on his throne or her throne.
Cat
Each
owners can
piece,
relate.
yeah, each piece certainly tells a story. So obviously this is a big one you must see if you are a cat lover. So if you want to, you can head to the Figgy Art Museum and catch us. How long is this exhibit on?
January 4th.
January 4th, so you got plenty of time to plan that trip to the Figgy. And for all things Figgy Art Museum, you can head to figgyartmuseum.org to get a look at some of the other exhibits that are coming up here in the near future. Vanessa, as always, we appreciate you being on to talk about the Figgy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Still to come on QCL, Medicare open enrollment is here, but do you know the difference between parts A, B, C, and D? We'll learn more in our financial moment with Heidi next. It is that time of year again. Medicare open enrollment is underway, and this is your chance to review your coverage and make any changes if needed, but it can be hard to keep it all straight. A lot of information. Our financial expert Heidi Hueskamp-Collins is here now to break down the different Medicare parts for us. Heidi, welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely, good to be here.
Yes, I've heard that this is a tough one for a lot of people, even if it's something that they enroll in every year. Health insurance across the board can just feel that way. But open enrollment to compare and change those Medicare options began October 15th. It only runs through early December, so we need to get on top of it.
Yes, because Medicare providers, you know, the agents that you're going to work with,
Yeah.
they are booked up. You know, so if you don't have an appointment yet, you need to get on the stick.
A good reminder. Okay, so let's go through the different parts today to kind of give people a little bit of a reminder. So Medicare Part A.
Medicare Part A is hospital insurance.
Okay.
So this is what will pay if you need to go into the hospital, if you need to go to emergency room, anything like that. That's what that coverage is going to, you know,
Kind of
pay
more
off,
your
pay.
emergency coverage or surgeries, things like that.
Well, it's not going to be the as far as the operating room, it will cover that, but the surgeon is different.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be a different charge.
That's a different one. Okay.
And hospice is also covered under Part A.
Under Part A. Okay, and so Medicare Part B is your medical insurance. So
Yes, this is going to be your providers. This is going to be your doctors. This is going to be your respiratory therapists. When you have, you know, labs, when you have blood drawn, you know, chiropractors, you know, all those, you know, kinds of services are going to be covered under Part B.
Part B, okay. And you say Medicare Part C, it's also called Medicare Advantage. So what do those plans cover?
Yeah, Medicare Advantage or Medicare Part C is Medicare but you're going to get the original Medicare, which is Part A and B,
Sure.
but it's going to be given to you by a private company, by a private insurance company,
Okay.
like an Aetna, like a United Healthcare, something like that.
Okay.
Now, Medicare Part C will cover A, it will cover B. Sometimes it covers your drug needs.
Okay.
Sometimes a particular Part C can cover hearing, vision,
okay.
dental.
Okay, so it maybe encompasses more than buying it separately.
Yes. So for some folks, you know, it's a really good deal.
Right.
You know, but you need to work with a specialist who's going to guide you. You want to make sure that everything that your doctors that you see, that the hospital that you go to, that your drug plan is covered.
Right.
So you need to look at all of those things.
You don't want to just choose it blindly and then end up not having everything
Not be
you need.
covered,
Yes.
right.
Okay. And then Medicare Part D, that's going to be your drug coverage. So this are trips to the pharmacy and things like that.
Right.
Okay.
Medicare Part D drug plans are kind of a newcomer. They haven't been around all that long, you know,
Okay.
as compared to Medicare. But every year you're going to, you know, because a lot of times your drugs change.
Right.
But Medicare Part D plans, you can't just set it and forget it.
Okay.
Because every year the drugs that are in that Part D plan are going to change.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, so
It's a lot to keep up with.
it really
Yeah.
is. You want to make sure, because you know you don't want to just be in a plan and then just take it for granted that it's going to be good. You know, just you're going to set it and forget it, because you might find yourself, you know, in a world of hurt.
Yeah, when those big changes happen. And I feel like they say that across the board, you know, with employer-provided insurance and things like that. Like, no matter what, even if you think you're set, even if you think you barely need it, it's always a good idea to get in there and make your selections and make sure that you still have what you need, because then you're stuck with it.
Right.
So why you should meet with a Medicare professional every year. Okay, so you've already told us appointments, they're filling up. Now's the time to do it. I think you've given us a lot of good reasons. You know, you kind of need someone to guide you through this.
Some people will find out that, you know, they've been in original Medicare, but they can really save dollars, you know, if they're, you know, healthy, and maybe all their medical providers are in a Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay.
Maybe they can save money.
Yeah.
You know, so they can examine that this time of year. You want to make sure, you know, absolutely that your drugs are still covered in your Medicare Part D or in your Advantage plan.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that your, like I said, your hospitals, your drugstores,
Yeah.
you know, are
It's
in
just
the plan.
helpful to have another set of eyes and someone just making sure you've got it all covered.
There's a lot of
No
changes.
pun intended.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes this year as far as the companies go, and the premiums are going up.
Okay.
So it's really important this year, you know.
Yeah.
It's always been important, but this year especially, you want to
get
go
on
in
top of it.
and make changes if necessary.
All right. Well, Heidi, thank you. And a reminder, Heidi and her team can help with all kinds of advice just like this. She can also guide clients through some major financial milestones, of course. To learn more, visit her website, hhcinvestments.net. And you can always see our segments together by visiting kwqc.com and clicking the tab for Quad Cities Live. Heidi, once again, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Still to come on QCL, some new screening technology is eliminating one of the unpleasant parts of blood donation. We'll learn more after the break.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Blood donation saves lives, and Impact Life is rolling out some new technology that could encourage more people to donate. Joining us now to explain how it works and how it's improving the donor experience is Kirby Wynn and Pete Lux. Thank you both for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about this. So Kirby, let's start with you. Talk a little bit about how, you know, the blood donation experience is really starting to change for donors in the area.
That's right. We are doing away with the finger prick in pre-donation screening, right?
Yeah.
It's not a fun way to start the donation process, to have that sterile lancet pierce that more sensitive
Maybe not.
skin around your finger, right? So
Yeah.
we've got a new tool here that helps us avoid that.
Yeah, so we have a new device here that we've completely implemented it everywhere, and it's taking the place of the finger stick that we used to do.
It's OrSense? Is that
Yes,
how you
it's
pronounce
called
it?
OrSense, and
Okay.
it uses light technology to determine what your hemoglobin is. Very similar to the technology used in the device before, only it doesn't need a drop of blood. It shines the light through your skin.
That is
so
great
it's really
news.
exciting that we're having this.
That is great news. Okay, so can you show us a little bit
I would
how
love
it
to show
works?
you how it works.
We practiced full disclosure before the show today, and so we'll see what happens with me. And so can you talk a little bit, though, about why this is something that you all need to test before somebody donates blood?
So we do. Hemoglobin is really an indicator of how much, of how healthy your blood is and how you will not be, it keeps you from being negatively impacted by the blood donation if your hemoglobin is high enough. It also helps to ensure that there's a therapeutic dose of hemoglobin in that bag of red cells. Without that, it's really twofold. Most of the criteria is either to protect the donor or to protect the recipient. This happens to be for both to make sure it's therapeutic. So to do a test, we're going to take your arm. You're seated just as you should be. This is the little device. There are cuffs in there that will inflate and occlude the blood. So you snap it on there. And then we're just going to push start.
It's going to feel a little bit like a blood pressure cuff inflating around your arm. And sure beats having that finger prick.
I know, no kidding. I could take the blood pressure cuff on the thumb. That's for sure.
Right.
Well, Kirby.
So we have a little too much light in here.
Oh, okay, because of the studio lights.
So we're going to have to cover this.
We were prepared for this possibility here under the
studio
lights.
lights, they sure are bright. If you've ever been on QCL, you can attest to that.
That is one of the precautions.
Now I can feel it.
Right. So what it's doing is inflating that cuff, occluding your blood flow, making it stop, and then taking a reading. It'll do that 5 times, and then we'll have a reading.
So yeah, Kirby, talk a little bit about the response. So you've already started using this.
Oh yeah, we've got it now rolled out across our whole service region. That nobody misses the finger prick, right? As you can tell, this is just kind of a brief period where you're getting that squeeze, and we get the same reading. We're still doing all the screening that we need to do. Staff and donors really love it.
The donors definitely do love it, but I think the staff may love it even more. There are no supplies to use while you're doing this. The sensor is used throughout the day. And then we also have eliminated gloves, lancets, the piece of plastic we needed to put the blood in, and other supplies. And I actually calculated the weight of all of that. And we were using about 4.5 tons of plastic every year, most of which had to be discarded as medical waste. So it had to be incinerated. So your hemoglobin is 14.4, which is perfectly normal, and it's great for donating. You have plenty to give away if you would like.
Well, good.
And
hemoglobin to spare, Morgan.
Hemoglobin, well, that's good news. I was really worried they were going to give me some bad news here today on Quad Cities Live, and I was still going to have to smile through it. So can you talk about a little bit about what this means for blood donation? Of course, the need is always great for blood donation. We know the impact that it can have for all kinds of people and families. So the hope is that maybe this will encourage people.
Just one less reason not to donate, right?
So if their reason for not donating was the finger stick, that's gone. So I'm hoping that will help bring people in. And it will also help people who maybe don't like the finger stick but know it's part of it, donate more often. So
they're like, I don't really
test.
feel like getting that, you know, today, and this is just such an easy thing.
How's your thumb? Is it okay?
My thumb is great. My thumb feels great. So this is wonderful, and so we'll start to see these everywhere then here. Rolling them out.
We completed the full implementation last week, thanks to our training team. They really did a great job in getting all that scheduled and getting everyone trained. It was very exciting for us. I've been looking forward to this for about 2 years now.
Oh my gosh.
With all the validation and everything that we did. And there's some footage there that we didn't have to cover the sensor with a paper towel.
But
we
people
did.
can see it a little bit better there.
We're not using it.
We've been showing this on the screen, so people have gotten a chance to see it. I want to thank you both so much for bringing this in today and showing it off for everybody that is watching. Now, if you want to learn more about this or book an appointment to donate blood, yes, please visit Impact Life on the web by heading to bloodcenter.org. Kirby and Pete, once again, we really appreciate you. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having us. It was great.
Yes. Still to come after the break, it is Throwback Thursday as we gear up for tomorrow's Halloween episode. We're going to take a look back at what happened last year on our Halloween show. That's next. All right, it is time now for Throwback Thursday. Yes. It is Halloween Eve, so you can imagine that our throwbacks are a little bit Halloween coded. We'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'm the one who said our throwback was going to go all the way back to college. I couldn't, well, I guess I didn't search, but I didn't.
Oh, Kyle's mic's muted.
Oh, it is? Oh, we're good. We're good.
Oh, no, you wasn't. It wasn't your fault.
No,
it was not Kyle's fault. Okay, look at that.
So this is back in 2011, which just blows my mind. But so when I went to NIU, Northern Illinois University, I was on the transfer floor in the dorm because I transferred as a junior. And so we all did all these activities together. So we all carved pumpkins. And this was my attempt at carving weather themed. You can see a cloud, a lightning bolt. That's a low pressure as the nose.
That's really well done.
It's supposed to be a warm front and a cold front, but I didn't really plan this out correctly. So
he's a true weather nerd.
I truly am.
Love it.
You're going to find out more tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
On with my costume. But anyway, that's yeah. I should have pulled like an old costume or something, but that was the first thing that popped up in my memory. So there you go, 2011.
I love it. I don't know how much time we have, but this one just goes back to 2024 for me, and that's when we had the kiddos on our first Halloween show together, and I thought Darby was just going to clam up and be really shy.
No,
and
she loved the camera.
Fully loved looking into the camera, and you can see. And so Janaea took all these photos of the many faces of Darby while she was Little Miss Dorothy on TV last year. And so the plan is to have her back tomorrow. And now she's a big 7-year-old, so we'll see what she's got. Maybe she's too cool. You just never know with these kids.
You never. I know. My son is 4 and. Anything he says is unpredictable, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, I'll have my daughters here as well, and then some other TV Sixers will be here with their kids as well. So it should be a fun show.
I am nervous for the things that will come out of her mouth.
You just never know, right?
She really likes to throw mom under the bus sometimes, so to speak.
Oh boy, yeah, I better watch out for my kid too.
Yeah, be careful. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching today. We hope that we see you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeopardy's coming up next, followed by your local news at 4.
From the